To vax or not to vax? That is the question. And to some people, it's a no-brainer. If you like no-brainers, you can listen to 2 of them by going to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie. Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Hey, pal, what's up?
What's up there, home slice?
Let me just tell you that I went to go see the doctor because my mother's got rhinovirus and my daughter's got strep. So I'm all fucked up. So and I took the initial Fauci ouchie. So I don't know out of all 3 which one it is. So I go to the Medi Center and I get prescribed a bunch of stuff and I'm okay with it. And first of all, they almost didn't see me because I wasn't fully vaccinated, which is another story. That's fucked up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they almost turned me away. Asked me for, all right, you only got one down. And
wait, so you're telling me that okay, I get it if you can't go to a concert or something like that, which I don't agree with, but they won't let you because you're not fully vaccinated. You can't go to a healthcare facility if you're not vaccinated?
They said that they weren't accepting, it was like a Medi Center type place. They weren't accepting patients that weren't vaccinated.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like you'd have to go to your MD or a hospital or some shit.
The hospital, what is it?
Fuck. So last night, cough was bad. I'm a little bit better today, but last night the cough was bad. And fucking, she said, I don't know if you want to take this before you go to bed. It's got Sudafed. I don't know what Sudafed does to you. Well, my wife, Sudafed knocks her the fuck out. Sudafed for me is like taking a fucking bump in 1997 at Temps down the shore. Sudafed fucking rocks, bro. Sudafed rocks me. So this is what happened last night, and I'm sure you'd be as chipper as I am. I went to bed about 12:40. I took a shower. About midnight, I took the cough medicine, took a shower, in bed by 12:40. I was up at 2:45, like someone rang the fire alarm bell, and I haven't been back to sleep yet.
Holy shit.
So I'm working on about an hour and a half today. I was up.
Didn't they outlaw like Sudafed because people were making fucking like homemade like fucking crank or fucking speed or
tossing, turning, up, down, covers off, covers on, downstairs, went to the couch, put on the TV, fucking fuck you, Netflix. Next thing you know, I'm watching Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock, and I said, well, I might as well do some fucking work. It was 6:00 in the morning by that time happened. So that was my night. I would
have done a couple fucking Shotsky patatas and fucking try to knock myself the fuck out.
Would you have called out today?
No,
I
don't call out.
Wow.
What's up?
I'm very, very excited. I'm very, and let me just tell you that this is something I would have done. I fucking know in my heart of hearts that I would have done this. Are you ready for this?
Hit me.
In Elmwood Park, New Jersey, folks out there all over the world, all over the country, Elmwood Park, New Jersey is very close to where we are from. It's northern part of northern New Jersey. There was a noise complaint violation at a party, and it was a band. It was a backyard band playing, and there was a noise complaint violation. Cops get called to the scene. I'm calling it a scene. And this one officer by the name of Officer Daniel Carrone, or Carrone, I'm going to say Carrone, walked in the back and said, oh, kids, we got to stop the party. And they were like, oh, bummer, officer, it's we're raising money for a food bank. It's for this type of party. I know, kids, but it's loud. People are getting... All right, you want to know what? I'll let you play one more song, but I'll play on drums.
What a ham.
So the officer says, y'all know Green Day? So the officer I think the kid handed him a mic, and he's like, no, I play drums. He went on, and they played Basket Case. They played one more song, and they rocked out. And I just thought it was a cool thing. I thought that because I goddamn for sure know that if I was an officer or somebody like that, I would have walked back there and said, "Hey, you guys know Babalu?
You would have fucking
play."
You would have cut a double live album that night if that was you. Now here's the sad thing, right? So the cops do that. The cop does that, right? Cool, connect with the people. It's a charity. Some fucking jerk off somewhere will write to the fucking local fucking town council, this and that, and turn it and spin it into a fucking bad thing. Well, we call for a noise complaint, and he played with them.
Yeah.
Like, what? Watch. If I promise you, this will fucking happen because we live in the fucking world of jerk offs.
Funny enough, that's the next name of our album.
A world of jerk offs. What's blazing up the fucking internet? I don't know if you saw it.
Blazing up the internet. What's blazing up the internet, Rock?
The versus battle, the rap versus battle between the Locks and Dipset that just took place. And
really?
Jadakiss from the Locks.
Really?
You got it. If you go on social media, bro, everybody's posting clips of like Jadakiss, like he did 2 freestyles that like tore up Dipset, right? Now
really?
It's like a friendly thing, right? But
yeah.
Damn, bro. You got to watch it. I'm not going to do it justice, but his fucking rhymes were sick. And it actually, I think it's cool that they do this, like these versus battles, you know?
I'm going to check this out.
It was at the theater at Madison Square Garden, and like it looked like it was like a pretty packed place. And dude, it was like, I watched, obviously I didn't see it live, but I watched a couple clips and brought me back to my youth.
A good old fashioned fucking hoedown showdown with some fucking lyrics. Bringing it back to you, 1, 2. I'm ready. I wonder if our boy Polish Pete fucking heard about this.
We're gonna have to have Pete weigh in on this.
Yeah, I think
he's probably there. He's probably there.
That's dope. All right, I gotta check it out.
Yo, man! Our team, the New York Yankees, with their fucking 2 new left-handed additions. It doesn't hurt that they're both Italian like us. Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo. Lighting it up already. Rizzo especially.
I love it. Does it feel good?
Dude, 6 games. He's got, you know, a hit in each game, 6 RBIs, whatever the fuck he has so far. Dude, dope. Like Brian Cashman is getting like rave reviews because he made good acquisitions at the trade deadline.
Didn't we just fucking hand the asses to the Orioles? Didn't we just fucking rip them up?
Yeah, they kicked the shit out of the Orioles, but with that lineup they should. I feel like that's how like every game should go. With the Yankees lineup is monster now, and because they were like a very right hand heavy team, and now they have 2 big lefty bats.
And if you remember throughout the years, we were always lefty heavy.
Yeah, the old short porch.
Yup, bringing lefty back.
Yeah,
what's up?
Yeah, I always wanted to just take batting practice at the old Yankee Stadium.
I guarantee it. Give me 100 pitches. I'm putting 1 out.
I think you'll put more than 1 out. Remember we went to that. You went to that the stadium tour the last season.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
How cool was that? We got to sit in the dugout.
You were so skinny in those pictures.
Fuck you.
Fair enough.
Yo, me and Archie fucking sat in the dugout and then jumped up like 2 little fanboys. Put our hands on the railing and looked down the right field line as if somebody was up and we couldn't see the home run to the short porch.
Yeah.
So much fun.
We touched the grass.
Yeah. I think we took a couple of rocks. We took something. What did we take? It was like a little fucking like dirt.
I took some grass home and I tried to smoke it. Nothing.
You smoked the grass.
Nothing. Oh God.
Got to go in the locker room. That was fun, dude. That was so much fun.
You see all the fucking uniforms. You see the uniform, you see like fucking, I don't know if it was Bernie or somebody had like fucking all like supplements and balls and bats, all the shit that they give you. It was so dope.
Yeah, man. I miss the old stadium.
Let's give it up to the Yankees. Let's go, guys. Let's turn it around.
This is the last final charge to push for the fucking playoffs. They're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
Arch, I am so excited for our guest today.
Oh, hell yeah.
This guy is an MMA icon, a pioneer of the sport, and one of my favorite fighters of all time. Please welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Mr. Renato Babalu Sobral. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming on.
They're good to talk to you all. And I'm going to start making you a question. Why am I your favorite all the time? Why? What's the reason? Why is it different? Why do you like me? Why do you like my style?
Because you would fight anybody. You were never afraid to fight. You always engage, and anywhere the fight went, you could handle yourself.
Yeah, that was about it. I think I did it right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why undoubtedly you're one of the most popular fighters of all time. And certainly one of the most exciting to watch. But how's the weather out there in California?
Believe it or not, it's kind of humid.
Oh, really?
Kind of hot and humid, yes. I mean, for us.
Yeah.
It's like 80 degrees or something, 80-something degrees, but humid. So people are like, it's not get used to the humidity here. I just came back from Florida, though, last weekend. That over there was really hot and humid.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of hot in Florida.
Yes.
For sure.
Right.
We're in Jersey right now, and Jersey is like 91 right now, and it's fucking brutal outside.
And humid.
Yeah.
Like 91 a dry heat is different than 91 in there.
Yeah. I go outside to get my mail, and I'm dripping.
That's the thing. I landed in Florida. The whole week that was my armpit was wet.
So let's jump right to the present and what you got going on now. Babalu's Iron Gym. Tell me about it.
Babalu's Iron Gym. We are here down in Cerritos, California. I've been here for 12 years already.
Wow.
And like I think maybe every other gym, we passed a really rough time last year through the pandemic. They lock us up. They didn't let us keep working out. And you have to find a way. You have to... Actually, myself, the first 2 weeks, probably everyone was afraid, didn't know what's going on. And you lock yourself at home, try to understand, and wipes groceries, wipes everything, and try to scare to get out of the house. But then things going forward, then I realized that wasn't that big of a deal, because so many, we have a wave of disconnect information through the government, through the friends, and to what people think. And then we kind of think, I don't want to live in fear, and talk to my friend, you got to do what you got to do. Then come to the gym and put some papers in the gym like everybody else. And then you're working out by yourself. Whoever coming working out with us. Then I train. I have a daughter. She just competed last weekend, by the way. She won 2 times Pan American Championship.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the most important kids competition in the world. And I took two kids there. Her name is, if you guys want to follow her on Instagram, her name is Sophia, PH, Sophia Babalu. And
awesome.
she's going to carry my legacy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So we keep training, being her. Then my other black belts keep training. More people come, more people to secure, and little by little keep going. But under the radar. But then after this, you got to open and pass through it. And the government give us a help, and the community give us the help. We have a very solid community here. We've been building for all those years. And then we support each other. So we stay and we survive. Then now the gym is blooming. More people coming, more people calling, more people want to come here working out. And understand that the healthy is the priority. It's not, I think realize now that it's not your Gucci purse, it's not your Mercedes and outside. They're going to save your ass outside.
Yeah.
So what you have is healthy, and you have to take care of yourself, because nothing of your belongings is going to save your ass when you need it. That's right. At least maybe a gun can save you, but your car, Just, you know.
Yeah, your Gucci bag's not gonna do nothing for you.
These Gucci bags are not doing anything like Gallo disease.
Unless you hit him real hard with that Gucci bag. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I don't remember the interview I saw you in, but what I really, really thought that was cool about you is that you take a real, true, big part in the kids that come to your school. And it's not just, learn to fight. It's more of, there's fundamentals that you teach them inside and in here, inside your heart and your head. And it's just something, it's like, I remember you saying something like the parents are growing with the kids and stuff like that. And I think that's awesome. And can you just tell us a little bit about like having kids in there into your gym, you know?
Yeah. So that's a great question, by the way. On those days, we see a lot of development in the sports, and they have a different stage on the different stage on the youth. They have adults, teenagers, different stage, and the hands that I put here, I put the hands on the roots of the kid. So I'm trying to use martial arts as a tool to build their character. I don't want to try to get the guy and to make a kid win the medals just because you can win today, you can lose tomorrow. Win and lose is a balance. It doesn't matter. And this is the life. I'm trying to use the sports, jiu-jitsu itself, and Muay Thai, and wrestling as a tool to build the solid personality that they're going to use when they grow up. Because they came from different backgrounds, different parents, and parents came from different backgrounds, from different parents. And we carry a lot of, not a mistake, but a lot of things that I tell about my parents, my parents from the 60s and 50s, 60s, they had their own way to teach and to us. And the way they taught to them too wasn't the way they're supposed to be taught. So we have to break all these bad habits, not just the good habits, but the bad habits that been given to us on the past, And here in sports, we try to narrow down and try to make them be a better citizen and better persons in the future, not just to be a better fighter. Because train, and it's gonna go away. One day you're gonna stop training. One day you're gonna to have to make your life go in some other directions. But what you're going to care from me, what you're going to stick with me is the value that you learn here. And the values on the martial arts is incredible. And we learn you learn friendship, fraternity, and courage. All those things that on the school, they've been taken away because the teachers in those days, they cannot influence the kids anymore. Yep. Go to school, they just say, they teach about cells, they teach about verb, they teach about math operation. But regardless, when you go talk about giving you the courage and be you fraternity, be friend and don't quit, all this stuff you only learn in sports. Yeah. You only learn and not about talking because it's easy to say. I say, don't, you cannot steal, cannot shoplifting. But if you don't live that, if you don't give opportunity to make a mistake, you won't do it. So you don't know how courage if you. I cannot explain to you. I cannot explain to a kid. You cannot teach your kids to be courage if you don't put him in a dangerous situation. Yeah, and
makes sense.
And on a fight here, it's not that you need to be on dangerous situation, but you be in chaos, little chaos, controlling by us, controlled by the teacher. When you have a huge person on top of you, try to smash you, not a huge person. I say about that. And try to explain about a little kid and a bigger kid on top of him. He has to use the technique. He has to move around so he can take the big kid off of him. Okay, he cannot cry. He cannot scream. He cannot ask for the parents. He has to find a way to do it. And then first day, probably he will cry. I will come. I will help. I will show it how to do it. The next day, we will try to come again. And maybe he would resist a little bit more. In 2 or 3 classes, he will get out.
Yeah.
He will get out. And you get a confidence, that little moment that you get out, you get a little inch of confidence on his character. And this is going to take him when he's going to use to get a job interview, to propose to his love of his wife, and all those things don't matter.
Yeah.
And all those things, the little things that happen here, and this little chaotic 1 hour movement that you're making here. And I try to build on a character of the kid. So I'm not just, every time that I talk, that I explain to talk to them, I take the technique, I show to them, and I'm showing all this, what happened to them. Not just, you're doing good, there you go. But when they do bad things too, they make accountable. For me, I'm not the person that, and you make something bad, I tell you, this is good. Just to give him a moral. No, this is bad. Yeah. This is completely bad. We're going to change. And we're going to try to do this way.
Yeah.
So this way today didn't work. You're not tough enough. You're not going to break this. You're going to hurt yourself if you try to do that. You're going to try to make a difference so he can improve and then he does, and he sees results. And then he believes me, because when you're parents, my parents all told me I'm cute, but I'm not, and then I start believing that I'm cute, and I'm not cute. and then you start believing that you're cute, but you're not. Come on. And you have to find a way to believe, to say, look, I'm ugly, and I have to live that, Yeah. And I have to live that I'm ugly. And people like me like ugly as the way I am, not because I'm cute, Yeah. And then you always try to be like others, because you try to be like him, try to be like them, because their one is cute. No, everybody likes people like, it's the beauty star on your eye, star on my eye, just like this. So little by little, we try to build the kid character.
Well said.
Once they're using martial arts.
Yeah. Well said. I like that.
Listen, I think that's awesome. I heard you talk about how, how you instill this character in these kids and the youth, and that you let the parents know that these kids are safe with you, that you're gonna teaching them these lessons, and that you don't have to come to and train with you to be a fighter. Because I'm sure that's some people are apprehensive, like, okay, I'm training with a world-renowned mixed martial artist. It may be too tough for me in there, or they may be intimidated. But I think you take that all out of the equation by training the kids this way.
Yeah, maybe they ask. I mean, you know what? All my classes in here, it's pretty much almost half and half between women and men in my team training jiu-jitsu. And when you probably, if you know my job in the past. Like I said, people you feel intimidated. This guy was so aggressive inside the ring. I was another person. The person that was inside the ring, They stay in the past,
Yeah.
And not the person that person is staying. Just belong to my past. And I use everything that I did in the past, my mistakes, if I did it right, to teach them. I'm not. How can I say? It's like you sit down and somebody talk about going to the army. I mean, I've been airborne, and then you teach a person how to go in war if you never been in war. So if you teach a person how to shoot, if you never shoot no one, so they have to get shot. Have you been in fight before? If you want to explain to me how this is work, sure. If you're not, you cannot explain to me, because you don't know. You don't. You just assume, but you don't.
Got it.
I can explain to them because I knew what I was doing. I was there. I was in the hurricane. I have been in crowds, 50,000 people cheered for me, against me. In Japan, it was crazy, when I fought 2001 against Dan Carrone in the final, with 50,000 people in the arena. There's a lot of Japanese people, screaming, and I was shaking. And I've been there, I can tell them, this is it's not because somebody told me.
Yeah.
I was there. So, and I did bad things too, and I pay for my mistakes. And then that's what it is.
When you're in an adverse environment, like you said, in Japan, you're fighting Dan Henderson, whatever fight it may be, and people may be rooting against you, how do you compartmentalize that and put that to the side and just focus on actually going in and fighting somebody?
Well, so it's one of those things nobody teach you, my coach didn't taught me that. You just have to experience yourself. And on that moment, I use the things that people taught me in the past. And one thing I learned, I listened for my airborne officer drill. I was in the airplane. I was about to jump out of the airplane with gun, backpack, and everything. My first jump. Then the door was open. The big noise, and I saw the houses the size of size of my nail made glass. And then I said, when you see just green, that's what it's supposed to jump. You just look to the horizon and jump. And if you'll be alive, you're lucky. Just seize the moment, enjoy it. So this is what it is. When I just look to my opponent, and I go fight for it. If I won, okay. If I lose, I lost. And it was about more, don't take me wrong. It's not one fight that I didn't have a fear. Every fight, it's not a fear. Now fear maybe is wrong. No, it's different. Fear is scary. No, it wasn't scary, but I have fear. Mm-hmm. And not fear to lose. Fear not to do that I was training.
Gotcha.
Don't take me wrong. Every time I have a goosebumps. Yeah. And I was nervous. My character was building time by time. And like my instruction drill said, no, when you face it, you gotta go. You gotta do what you gotta do, and just seize the moment, And then after this, I think it was just so many. That was a different though. That for my parachute didn't open, I always die.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's kind of a little bit different than fighting MMA. I know there was good there. I'm not gonna die, so. Yeah. That become easier for me.
Yeah,
sure. So your fear is not performing how you wanted to perform, or taking what you did in the gym.
Like that. It was more like that. And of course, I always thinking is always try to try to understand. And later on, it become a little easier for me to deal with this problem. I still, this past week, and I couldn't sleep well because my daughter was about to compete.
I can imagine.
I was there, and every time I go to the bed, I was thinking if I did everything that I was supposed to do to make her champion.
Yeah.
So I was drilling in my mind and thinking in my mind what I did with my daughter to make her succeed in a competition. So, and my mind was like spinning the same way. I have the same feeling when I was competing. And she did much better than I did because she slept well. She went to competition. Every time she goes, she's going smiling. She did this better. So what seems to me, when she go older, she's going to have, because she's been doing this, she's 5 years old. She's 3 years old, by the way. Now she's 12. Seems to me now, when she's go 20 years old, she got any things that she's going to have, challenge she's going to have in her life. She's going to try, she's going to do better than what I was dealing with, That's why I think sport is so important, because they put you on the spot. You put you on the spot. The other people haven't been in the spot. She was in the spot with herself, and I couldn't go over there and save her. Even though I'm black belt, if the girl's putting her armbar, the only way she gets saved is she tap. Otherwise, the armbar we broke. So, and the referee, of course. But that situation over there is a huge for a human being to build a character.
Yeah.
So you started when you were real young. You said you were like 8 years old, maybe when you started.
No, yeah, around there, 87.
So do you think that because you learned this at such a young age that it kind of, even though your mind may be spinning, you're thinking of this, thinking of that, like when you competed, I mean, you never looked like you were the slightest bit anxious or scared. Like, you look quite the opposite, maybe more menacing. Like, so do you think it's because you started so young?
Yeah.
And now your daughter will have the same thing?
It helps me too. It helped me very much. And I think, well, but I know persons, they start late too. And they have a good mindset. I know I have a Fabricio Verdun, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He has a great mindset in his competing. He started late. I think he was 19 or 18 when he started training jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
And he has a very good mindset. I think mindset is something that, but for my family, never taught me this. My dad never taught me that. My mom never taught me that. But they are very brave. My mother is very brave. She was a competitor too. She never taught me anything. She never took me to school. She never took me to the gym. She never took me. I did it by myself. Everything I did it by myself. In sports, I was looking myself. I went to the gym by myself when I was young. She just registered me when I was 8 years old. But the rest, I was by myself. My mom was working. She was a nurse. She was being work all the time. My dad, too. He was divorced. But my dad is a businessman, and now, no. And he was a diver in the past. Scuba diver.
Yep.
Elder scuba diver on the platform. And then later on, he become, he has a gym now. And not gym. My dad has a rehabilitation clinic. So, and he always going to business, open business, then close business, open business. He's a man for me, he's being a very brave too, and face business, especially in Brazil, that people doesn't give any opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And he's a hard work man. And this is giving me a good role model for me to think, on that way, if you think like that.
That's great. So in 2019, you reported that you were having early effects of CTE.
Uh-huh.
So can you talk about that? Like, what were you feeling? Were you went?
Well, what happened lately, though, my feelings in CTE, first is a memory loss.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a huge memory loss problem. You already know because you're supposed to be doing this before. And that's why I told you tomorrow is tomorrow. I put in my calendar. Just tomorrow. Because and sometimes I schedule so much things in one day. They're like, I don't know what to do. But and I have waves of depression sometimes too. So I'm fine, and sometimes one day things doesn't look the skies looks great to me, even though it's blue.
Yeah.
It's not something that one day. It's not every month or every other month. Before it was every other month. Now it's every month. Now I kind of have this couple of days that I keep doing myself. Though. Don't take me wrong. Maybe I'm depressed now, and you see me now. You talk to me. I'm teaching, but inside my mind, things really bad.
Gotcha.
And I know it's just chemical things. It's something inside my brain. I know for a fact there's something inside my brain that makes me sad. It's not because I'm sad. Not because something happened to me or a situation that makes me sad.
It's not circumstantial. Yeah.
It's not a circumstantial situation. It's just what it is. I'm trying to keep myself alive, try to go, and pass away. And this is fast. So, but this is really rough though, because it's hard. And I lose my patience. Sometimes I don't want to leave, but I keep my life doing. Because I know it's temporary. I know it's just something that goes away after a while. I don't hate to take any medicine. I hate to take any. I use cannabis for the situation that got really bad. But besides that, I don't take any medicine. I hate pills. I hate to get hooked on pills. I know the downside after is really bad.
Yeah. Sure.
So that's what I'm doing. I actually my vision too. My vision's been really bad too. I don't know if I have a CAT scan coming up, so I'm gonna take a look to see what's going on. I know the CTE doesn't show up much on the CAT scan, but let's see. But so far I'm fine. No, I'm here in the gym and
good.
Teach the kids.
Well, you look positive, bro. So that's you sound positive, you look positive. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, and I think that you're, by talking about it, you're an inspiration. Because I mean, Archie and I, to some degree, you get a little, anxiety, depression, like that kind of thing. But it seems like you kind of just like throw yourself into your work, and you're there for your kids and get up and do it, and it's a way to deal with it, and not sit back and feel bad for yourself But I think that's really good, and I think that more people need to hear stories like this.
Oh, so yeah. Well, if anybody out there want to talk to me, just please reach me on my social media. I know how the fighters. I know some fighters have been having experienced this problem. So you see some guys that get hooked on drugs, they had hooked on alcohol and do bad things. Don't judge them though. Don't think they're wild or an animal or something like that. Mm-hmm. Those people they've been punched in the head a lot, and many times you see yourself down, then you don't know what's going on. You ended up drinking, you ended up doing bad things, and it's good to you to talk. It's good to you to put yourself out there. What I did, actually, CTE is one of the things. If you have a tendency to be addicted, you're gonna get addicted for something because, it's like it puts you down. You're gonna try to find some way or another to put you up. And the many persons, what they do, they hide themselves on drugs or on alcohol. Yeah. And I avoid to drink a lot. I drink beer when I'm fine, but when that's the only drink that I do now. Because I love beer, I avoid to drink hard liquors, and I try avoid to have to go in the bar. They have friends, they do bad things. I try to stay away, because if you know that you can make a bad decisions, you stay away from the situation. And sure. and situation, sometimes the most person doesn't know they experience problems. The most of them right now, they have problems but don't know what's going on, and there's going to happen more in the future because more people fighting now, and more. And so if you guys want to reach me out and talk, I'm here. What I'm doing for myself, like I said, I keep working. I read it a lot to keep my mind and sharp. I work in math problems so I can keep my reasonable logic and sharp. Because I try to stay away from dementia now, because later on, that's how the path, this is CTE going to. Mm-hmm. And I work all my life, my body, yeah. But I need to work in here too, the brain. The brain, you might think it's stupid, but the brain's like a muscle though. If you don't work.
Sure.
Yeah. And don't think because you watch some crazy videos on Instagram or video on YouTube that you're smart, you gotta read, you gotta make yourself like working out. You gotta read because put words together. You gotta work in numbers to put things together. You gotta drawing. So these therapies that we're doing, it works to help you very much. Sitting down, take your time to yourself, to think, stay away from electronics, stay away for fast results. Just little by little, put things connect. And books is one of the things that help me keep my memory alive, because I have to read one chapter and connect to another one. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, it seems like you have a good path to dealing with this, and obviously we wish you the best. And I think that's pretty awesome that you're willing to talk to people, especially maybe fighters now that may be experiencing some of the same symptoms that you have. And I think that's and even be willing to talk to strangers like that and make them feel like they're not alone is awesome. So
yeah, this is right. I wish everybody talking about this, and I see these events to somehow try to support the fighters, but we need to have the psychological aspect as well on the side, because how can I say? They don't get, fight. They don't get. Sometimes you fight 10 years for one. I see some fighters that fight 10 years for the same event. When you're out, and that's it. They don't give you any support anymore, and it's not even a pension. You don't know what you do after. I have a gym. I have this because I built myself in the past. But the most person they don't have, but they have you have a car, or you have a mansion, you have this, you have that. But it's nothing yours. Nothing belongs to you.
Yep.
Because you didn't build anything. You can lose the next day. If you get fired, they kick you out. The people the crowd will lose to the next generation. None of it to you anymore. You belong to the past. Then you're like, what? You don't know. You don't have any support. You don't know what to go. So, and this all together, plus your brain damage, plus everything that happened, they don't give any. We don't have any union or anything that can protect us.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm a favor or against the union, whatever. It's just that you need to take care of yourself better. You have to take it. If you don't have a union, you have taken care of your own. You cannot rely on an event because they don't like you. They don't dislike you. They have their business. You just work. You don't not to do the business. You work for them, but not them. You there temporarily, just for a little bit, and later on, you're gonna be discharged and discarded. Not like a trash, but something that you don't need to be used anymore.
Sure.
And if you don't know, if you don't prepare yourself in the brain, you can find yourself in a deep, very deep ocean. And then you can make bad decisions in the future.
I think that's a big discussion now is fighter pay mainly, right? But maybe the fighters unionize or have some type of benefits for life after you fight a certain amount of times in a certain promotion. Something to look after the fighters, because you're right, because it's you guys go in there, you guys and gals go in there, to kill or be killed, and then when it's over, and you're right, it's a finite amount of time. It's a small period in your life.
So other day I was thinking about Dana White said, "Oh, what do you think you're gonna give he was complaining like, do you think you're gonna give health care for the rest of the life? I don't know any job do that in America." I said, well, but we give to him money for the rest of his life.
Sure.
We, all the fighters, we work as an ants to give to the queen, that's him, money for the rest of his life. He doesn't have to worry about his health care anymore. But we do, because we work for them too. He get paid. The business, that's his business. He built the UFC. He makes sure he didn't build any one character. It's just beautiful for him. So he'll be great, if he works some amount of years for UFC. Yes, a pension doesn't have to be $5,000. Well, at least a couple $100, man, for you to support, to pay your health insurance, to pay $1,000 a month for the rest of your life. Yes, UFC for the rest of your life, because UFC, you have money for the rest. It's a billions and billions dollar company.
Sure.
It's like the UFC have more money than sometimes some countries make. And then if you have a business like that, you need to support your athletes though. Yeah. Not just, UFC, any company that work well, they've been established. They need to take care of your athletes though. If you work for us, the certain amount of years is a high fucking demand job. You work. He's sitting behind the count. Those guys sitting behind the count. We put our head in there.
Yep.
You put your head to be punching and kick. It's your choice. Yes, your choice. This we want to do it. Yes, we want to do it. They knew they're gonna work. Come on, But you want us. You want us too. You want us. This is the two things.
Yeah.
If you didn't have people that rely to put your heads over there together, you didn't have business. So you didn't have money for the rest of your life. So, so right now, talking professionally, I'm really in favor. They can take care of better the fighters. I don't say it about me because I'm already gone. But the next generation, the people who come, because I'm telling you right now, everybody that comes to my gym and asks to be a professional fighter, I discourage them. I discourage them because I don't think it's healthy, though. I don't think it's a good thing. I think you can do a martial arts, but if you win it professionally, I just tell you, look, you're going to work with someone else. They don't care about you.
Yeah. It's high risk, low reward. And I would disagree with what he says about no job has health care the rest of your life. But you're talking about a combat sport, like a regular job. Okay, you work at a factory, you're probably never going to get hurt. You know what I mean? God willing. But like a combat sport, I mean, there's an associated risk with that. And it's like you said, maybe even if it's a couple $100 to take care of the fighters the rest of their lives, I think the infrastructure for that needs to be better because for the UFC, let's just say, to have a business, they have to employ the best fighters in the world, right? So if they have guys that don't know what they're doing or not good fighters, they're not going to make money. They're going to be shit fights and they're not going to make money. They need to employ the best fighters in the world. You guys are the best fighters in the world. So I think there has to be some compensation for life after the sport.
Of course. At least for majority of people, they work for some amount of year. For example, like in NFL, you work for some amount of years, you have a page for the rest of your life. The most NFL players, there are a lot of guys, they don't have money though, because they spend it all. I know guys from the NFL, they're broke.
Yep.
They're broke. They live off the pension. They live is like it's a amount of money, but it's some amount of money. At least the NFL didn't turn it. Because if they don't have that money, they'll be bad, because they have it all, and one day they don't have anything. Of course, they're not their fault. They didn't taught them how to be a businessman. Just give them the money. So giving a person the money, you don't teach him how to use the money. It's like it's a car rack. It's like sometimes you get a kid 20 years old, you just throw a bunch of money to the kid. The kid thinks he's the man, he feels the man. But in the meantime, you get a hit in the head. And the next day, you out because you start losing. They know amount of money, you spend millions of dollars in cars, in houses and things. One day you don't have any more. They didn't know what to do. You don't have this brain damage.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is the good guys. And then most of the guys, they try to go one knockout. They try to go one knockout, and then 1, 2, and you go another one, and then lose one. And keep going, and they be like a baits for the big ones that come. Sometimes you see that in the event. Some guy this match because sometimes you have to be some guys are just the steps for the other ones to come up.
Yeah, like a stepping stone.
But what are you doing, those steps? You're gonna get rid of him, just let him go. If you didn't have all those fighters here, McGregor wouldn't be the McGregor. If you don't have all those small guys here and they go up.
Yep.
And he made $1 billion. But how about these guys here? They don't make so much money, but they have more damage. So this is the whole thing together.
And that's what's remarkable about your career. You had such a long career, 50 fights or so. And nowadays it's like you said, you could be on top of the world and your fortune can change. You lose 2 fights in a row, you lose them bad, you're done. That's it. Like nobody wants it. You're not going to get the money that you thought you were going to get. And sometimes you can't, even though there's a lot more promotions now, it's tougher and tougher to find a job in these promotions because the competition is actually,
But I'm going to tell you why. I think fighters in the past, I think we came from Japan, the event, we spend more time in building ours as a character, ours as a person. He built us as a not only rely on our victories, but rely on what we do. That's the thing in Japan. They build our character, the fighters, in what we do. Win and lose, we're still a hero. We're still, a special person. They did a lot. They put yourself out there A lot of people doesn't have a courage to do. So that's how they build over there. Here, they build you against with the win. If you lose, you're nobody, So that's the thing there. Far as in the past, I have a lot of losses though, but my name is still like you said, people like me because I was built. I was built my character. I was built myself, but I was built by my character in the event. They built myself, my not what I was doing, not just my victory or loss.
Yeah, and I think that nowadays, like you said, they build a character in Japan, but nowadays I feel like they feel like these fighters are, because more people are doing it, that these fighters are like disposable. After a couple losses, you could toss them to the side, and they'll find somebody else that'll step in and do that.
Yeah, yes, and the disrespectful things, one calling all the names, that takes a lot of the sports though. It takes I don't know. I'm not very against that.
Getting to your career real quick. What I think is a huge accomplishment. September 6th, 2003. You fought 3 real tough guys in one night in IFC to win that tournament. Trevor Prangley, Jeremy Horn in the finals, but at that time you beat Shogun Hua, and at that time he was like had a rocket strapped to his back, like he was gonna be like, he turned out to have an awesome career, but he was like scheduled to like be like the next big thing, and having beating him and beating him by submission was, I think, opened a lot of people's eyes to what you were about.
That night, it definitely was the most important night of my life, regardless my profession is like for fight wise, and then so like you said, I made I think one of the most. I mean, if you see how I come out of the fight that day, I was going to hospital right away and stay for a couple of months. But that was 3 fights in one night, 45 minutes total.
That's insane.
Shogun Hu was really tough too, but right after I have a Jeremy Horn. They have way more experience than him. Yeah. And he put me twice in the hard triangle. And but not just this. When I competed in September, I just lost my brother a couple months ago. In July. That was a really rough situation for me. He was 33 years old when he passed, but I kept training. Actually, the competition was supposed to be before, and when he was sick, and I was training the same way, but they postponed the competition for September. Then he passed. But then I keep training all the time. I kept training, and I, not that I used, but somehow the pain that I have on my heart made me to survive and did that incredible things. That was incredible. I acknowledge that what I did was incredible. There's very little human beings can do that.
Yeah, like I mean, to think about that, fighting. And listen, you were fighting the guys at the highest level. It wasn't like you were fighting these guys that just started out. To test your body and especially your mind, to go out there 3 times. In every fight you take a little damage. And then by the last one, like you said, Jeremy Horn, who has like slick submissions, he was throwing up triangles left and right, and you had to fight that off. I gotta say, I mean, I don't know that a lot of people would ever know what that's like. Even the toughest fighters out there today, to be able to have that physical endurance and the mental endurance to do that 45 minutes 3 times in one night is something that like really probably you won't see happen anytime soon.
Yeah, that day, I like I said, because my brother's death, I was kind of. I said, if you want to win, you got to kill me, though. That day was just about this, Yeah. It was, I think, the situation, the pain that I had inside me, they kept me driving myself to train. It kept myself being off and move forward. I remember, I was in the fight was in Denver, though. We're not familiar to having competed in high altitude before. And I'm from sea level place. I'm from Rio de Janeiro. That's right. And in competing in Denver and with deficit of the oxygen. Yes, that was nuts. I remember after the second fight, I came to my locker room. I was that like my big cut on my eyes, and like I have a cut would stick my finger on it because she won't give me a good solid punch.
Yeah.
And the only way that I can come back if they stop bleeding. You know, when they inside the ring, they put your adrenaline, so you stop right away. But adrenaline have a time to work. Stop work for a while.
Wears off.
And I couldn't get stitches and come back to the ring. How did I solve this problem? Super glue.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Yes. So So my coach grabbed a super glue because he had it. Because he had used in the past before. He got a super glue and stick it on my eyes in here. And that was me able to come back. But the problem is because the super glue, I think they react. No, in the first round, in my eyes started so close my eye. So for just one eye. So that was crazy though.
Fucking brutal.
Archie gets a paper cut and he has to call out sick from work. This guy's gluing his head together to go out and fight somebody. One of my other favorite experiences is the first time I saw you fight live, and Archie was with me. Now, Archie, I'm like his mixed martial arts tutor. I try to teach him some stuff about, who's what and what's going on. But back then, this is 2005. We're at a bachelor party. You fought in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun. You fought and submitted Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
Great fight. And that was and back then for you, that was a little bit of a grudge match, right? That was the second time you had fought him. So great fight. You win. Everyone goes out and hangs out afterwards. And there was and I'm sure you wouldn't remember this, but we were upstairs. There's restaurants and bars in the middle. And, we were obviously everyone's drinking and drinking. And
there was in a room, then I done the right room and then upstairs was it down there? Was it in the lobby or was
no? I want to say it was a center, but there was all restaurants and around. There's a bar in the middle.
Yeah.
So we're walking through, and then I think you were sitting down eating or having a drink, and I'm like,
I was eating a Häagen-Dazs.
Yeah. And I'm like, Arch. I'm like, that's the guy I was talking about. One of my favorite fighters, Babalu. And Archie was absolutely hammered drunk and just screaming. I'm like, Babalu. I go, dude, you're gonna seriously get us killed right here. But you were so nice. You're like, hey guys, how are you? And, we said hello real quick, and I walked away. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, Archie, shut the fuck up. Let's get out of here.
It was my first fight. And I mean,
how are you talking now? This was small world, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, how could I not yell out Babalu? It's one of the greatest fucking names ever. So that was awesome, man. It was an honor to watch you fight, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. So listen, we appreciate you taking the time today. We hope to talk to you again in the future soon. What you're doing with, the kids in your gym is remarkable. What you're doing with, having people reach out to you after having any issues like that, with mental issues, it's an inspiration. You're doing so much, and you're definitely one of the good guys out there, and we appreciate that. We appreciate you. Where can everybody find you if they want to reach out to you?
Find me, my website is babalubjj.com, or if you want to go on Instagram, babalubjj. My IG. They can go over there and say, if you have any questions, just send me messages out there. I'm not on Twitter, Facebook, not neither. I have the Instagram because I do have to, because otherwise I'll be just have a cell phone But if you guys want to reach me out, just my gym, Babalu BJJ or Babalu Iron Gym. That's the name of my gym. I'll be here. Gonna bring a kid here. I'll be more than happy to take care of him. And if you want to train yourself, just be great.
Oh,
that's awesome. And give your daughter's address too. Let's get her some
my daughter
followers.
IT also. Actually, she needs to get more followers because I try to get sponsors now. And even though she's 2 times Pan American champion, because they need followers. So right now, needs to get her followers on Instagram. Yeah. It's like a coin, though. If you don't have a followers, you're nobody.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Anyway, our follower is Sophia with PH Babalu. Sophia Babalu. So become easier to everyone to know.
Good luck, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's get her some followers. The great Babalu, thank you so much. We really
All
enjoyed
right,
this.
brother. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Right, bye-bye.
See you guys.
Ooh, that was the great Babalu. I remember that fight in Connecticut. That was insane. And yes, I was screaming throughout the bar, Babalu! Baba! I was a little hammered. What do you want me to do? It was my first fight. He was an awesome guest. Very inspirational, Rock. I really, really dug how he opened up about CTE and what he's going through and how he would love people to reach out. So if anybody out there feels they need someone to talk to, has CTE, he could relate. So please reach out to him. He's at Babalu's Iron Gym. You got at Babalu BJJ on Instagram. Give his daughter a follow. She needs some followers. Sophia Babalu at Sophia Babalu. That's SOPHIA Babalu. And with that being said, Rocco, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us talking to the legend Babalu and you want to kickstart your heart like Motley Crue, your favorite rap band of all time is 2 Live Crew, and you know it's irrelevant that your client has been ridden more than Seattle Slew, then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast. Our hands on the railing and look to see like if it was like mimicking if they were.
Yeah.
He had fucking talk.